CM Punk lost his UFC fight. The first time I watched this match, I was very disappointed. The second time I watched this match, it made me realize how great WWE is, because if that would be WWE, you know, he lost his first fight, but in the second fight he's gonna be victorious and he's gonna be like, you know what, I proved everybody wrong. You never give up. But that was real life and he got his ass whipped. Yeah. Welcome to the special edition of Greatness of Wrestling, where we're going to talk about CM Punk, the future of CM Punk versus WWE again happening. I'm also gonna show you a very controversial thing said by Dana White about the Jackson guy and CM Punk as well. And I'm gonna let you know my thoughts about the fight and whether I respect CM Punk or not. So basically CM Punk had his second UFC match and he lasted 3 rounds in the fight, and in the first round he was actually doing pretty okay, but after the first round, in the second and the third, he was pretty much just a toy for this other guy. You've seen some of the weirdest moves by CM Punk, never seen before in UFC, and probably for a big reason. You had a lot of blood, too much of blood, that was really difficult to watch, and you had this other son of a bitch pretty much just wasting time, being cocky, and it seemed like he didn't even want to finish the fight, he just wanted to be more on television. So kind of a dick move, to be honest, because after the fight CM Punk actually went to hug the guy. He was very humble about it. So you know, my thoughts about this Jackson guy is that he's a bit of a dick. So my opinions on the fight: I thought it was pretty entertaining because we actually had a guy that I was invested in, you know, CM Punk. But at the same time, after the first round, it was just difficult to watch. It was really difficult to watch. Now I want to start this by actually showing what Dana White actually said about this fight.
It should be a wrap, you know. The guy's 39 years old. I love the guy. He's the nicest guy in the world. We gave him 2 shots, you know, and he had a lot of heart tonight in this fight. And yeah, I think you should call it a wrap. He got clipped a lot in that fight. And it looked like he was hurt bad a couple of times. He stayed in there. He went for 3 rounds, you know. Michael Jackson, I'm not happy with. This guy was acting like a goofball tonight. You get this opportunity to come in and fight CM Punk, and you're doing like bolo punches to the body on top. Never looked like he was trying to finish the fight ever, right? Looked like he could have finished the fight a few times. Never tried. I don't know what that guy did for a living before we gave him the shot, but whatever it was, he needs to go back and do that again. He's 0-2 as far as I'm concerned.
Well, to that point, it seemed like he was trying to milk it to stay on TV longer. Did you get that sense?
I got the sense that he's a complete idiot, and I couldn't wait for that fight to end, and I regretted not putting it on Fight Pass. Okay. That's how I felt about it.
Okay.
Which brings me to another point. Dana White actually roasted the guy who won instead of a guy who lost. So as much as I respect the aspect of this guy has heart, you know, he's tough, he's amazing, he's very humble about it, this guy lost and the other guy won. But then again, he didn't do himself any favors by being such a dick about it. There was this one point in the fight where CM Punk was like, what the hell is going on? I think he even understood that this guy isn't even trying to finish the fight. So I've seen a lot of people on Twitter saying that why the F Dana White is actually saying that CM Punk is great while actually roasting the other guy, but you know, you need to understand that this guy was pretty much just trying to be on television for a bit longer. He was basically a dick and he acts like he has some kind of 20-0 record while he just defeated CM Punk, who is not even a UFC fighter, honestly. You know, a bit of a dick. So Dana White said that in his mind it's 2-0 for this one. So it doesn't seem like this guy has a future in UFC even after defeating CM Punk. So what's next for Mike Jackson? He's not going anywhere. And what's next for CM Punk? Hopefully wrestling. I think even though he doesn't want to do it probably, it's kind of the right thing to do. It doesn't have to be WWE, but CM Punk is 39 years old. He gave it a shot, he had 2 fights, lost them unfortunately, but he looked better than in his first one, so I think that should be a wrap. So basically you have these 2 opinions. UFC fighters pretty much saying that why is this on pay-per-view, you don't deserve this, and WWE wrestlers saying chase your dreams, which is pretty much understandable. You know, if some MMA fighter who doesn't have any WWE experience would be in the main event of WrestleMania or something like that, I would be pretty disappointed. You know, I would not agree with this decision, so I understand that. You got tweets like, "This is just weird. This is why I bought this pay-per-view," probably referred to the fact that CM Punk got his ass whipped. For some reason, I'm actually enjoying this fight. We got a fight here. This fight is embarrassing, I just don't get it. Why will you put this on pay-per-view? Well, at least CM Punk is earning all that money. Thanks for coming out. I think we just saw the most tragic fight in UFC history. This was a horrible fight. I never thought I would see two 0-1 fighters in the UFC and on the main card to boot. I'm a CM Punk fan, but I gotta agree. Which brings me to another point, CM Punk versus Corey Graves. Turns out they were actually friends before CM Punk left the WWE. I will let you know why they are actually not friends anymore. Basically, this is what Corey Graves tweeted after the fight. "Maybe abandoning everybody who stood by your side, even when we were not supposed to, only to have you turn your back on us wasn't the right move after all. No anger, only sadness." Aw, seems the fans are disappointed. Maybe you guys should note that that dude held my first son before I did because I was on tour and I trusted him. I had dinner with him the week after he quit. The first rule of punk rock is loyalty, and this guy betrayed it all. I still love you, friend, and I'm sorry you got lost. Don't worry, hey Vince McMahon, this has nothing to do with you. You either, Triple H. This isn't corporate, this is real life. Hey CM Punk, call me tomorrow, I still love you. It was really weird seeing someone from WWE actually tweeting about this fight, and Corey Graves is one of the main WWE commentators, so I hope he doesn't get in trouble, but at the same time you need to know why is this happening. So Corey Graves later actually explained his actions by saying that they were friends, but after Punk left the WWE, CM Punk said that "I don't want to be friends with you and anyone associated with WWE," or something along those lines, which is pretty much a very dickish move, if you ask me. That's just not how world works. As much as I like CM Punk, sometimes his actions come off as very childish. So let me break this down for you. He left his job, and if anyone is associated with that job is no longer my friend, boo-hoo.
I wanted to address the very controversial statements made by CM Punk on the Colt Cabana podcast. And Punk had some things to say about me. After he left the WWE in February, I texted him a few times to ask how he was doing, to see what's up. Never once, not once, did I ever ask him to do. Sorry about that, looks like the clip got cut off, but I never once asked him to do the podcast after he left the WWE in February. In January, the WWE asked him if he wanted to do my podcast, because I had given them a list of names of guys that I wanted, going through the protocols, going through the office, and once again, he wasn't into doing the podcast, which is cool. But yeah, after he left in February, I just sent him a couple texts about different things, really nothing to do with wrestling. So that's kind of the deal. I think other people might have been frauding him to try and get information from him, but I never did that. I never asked him to do the podcast after he left the WWE in February. So, but still, have no ill will towards Punk, still consider him to be a close friend, and went through some wars with the guy. And I'll explain all of this more on Talk is Jericho, but I definitely did not have an agenda, because I never asked him to do the podcast after he left the WWE, nor did I ever ask him any questions about why he left. That was his business and his business only, but I kind of had some feelings of why he did it, because I went through the same thing in 2005 when I left the WWE.
That's just my opinion though. I don't see him fighting in WWE or UFC anymore, which was kinda confirmed by now. So whatever happens with CM Punk next, I will be watching, and I'm sure you guys will be watching that as well. The highlight of this match for me was probably him coming out with Cult of Personality. That's probably it. So that is it for Greatness of Wrestling Special Edition, UFC Edition, and you will see another episode today in a few hours. Just want to let you know that after like 2 or 3 days you will not see videos from here anymore. I'm actually moving, cannot wait, and you will see more videos, better quality, all of that sorts of crap. So I'm very thankful, everything is going fine. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you want to support it even more, make sure to click that motherfucking like button, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and also my second channel. All the links are in the description. Check them out. If you want to support the channel even more, Patreon. I will bring some exclusive shit to Patreon in the future, so if you want to be on that, Make sure to check that out. The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.